The Colosseum, the Great Wall of China, Burj Khalifa, the Statue of Liberty, the Taj Mahal, and the Eiffel Tower, amongst others, are a few of the greatest landmarks around the world that are embedded with history. These landmarks, aside from having a rich history, also serve as tourist attractions for the country they're located. The Eiffel Tower, also known as the Iron Lady, receives over 7 million tourists annually since it was erected, so it needs very little introduction. The shocking fact about the tower is that it was supposed to be demolished after 20 years, but it's still standing unique in 2023. Why? Join us as we uncover the truth behind the cancellation of the Eiffel Tower demolition and the shocking secrets and facts about the Iron Lady. Before we get into the full details, kindly give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more premium content. Now, let's delve in. Undoubtedly, the Eiffel Tower's history represents a part of the national heritage, as it's been a part of France and Paris's symbol for decades. For a masterpiece erected over a century ago, the tower was only meant to be temporary in the Parisian landscape and was far from the Parisians' favorite landmark. How did the Eiffel Tower manage to survive since its construction? Let's take it back a bit, shall we? It's the year 1889 in France, and one of its cities, Paris, was to host the Exposition Universelle, a world's fair to celebrate the 100th year since the beginning of the French Revolution. The event would serve as an avenue for countries around the world to showcase their culture, technological capabilities, and achievements to the world. Because of the event, France deemed it fit to create a landmark that would demonstrate their country's technological prowess and also serve as a centerpiece for the international event. So, in 1884, the French government invited all of its brilliant and influential engineers at that time to draft the plan for the Iron Lady. Of all the engineers invited, the CV of Gustave Eiffel was the most outstanding. He was well known for his unique metalwork and designs, and he has had the opportunity to create many famous designs in France and other countries. Gustave and his employees are the brains behind France's Garabit Viaduct in southern France and the dome of the Nice Observatory. Internationally, he's also credited for working on the metal framework of the Statue of Liberty, which earned him the nickname the Magician of Iron. With such an impressive CV, the French government had no choice but to award him the contract. According to Gustave Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower's design was inspired by a wooden structure called the Lading Observatory, which was built for the World's Fair held in New York City in 1853. Gustave began working on the Iron Lady in 1887, and by 1889 the centerpiece was delivered. Although the piece attracted criticisms from some French leasing artists and intellectuals for its design, the Eiffel Tower proved all critics and doubters wrong by becoming a global cultural icon of France and one of the most recognizable structures in the world. As of 2023, the Eiffel Tower is the most visited monument in the world, with around 7 million visitors. Of course, with an entrance fee. The Iron Lady was designated a Monument Historique in 1964 and was named part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The tower, at 330 meters, is about the same height as an 81-story building and is evidently the tallest structure in Paris. Just so you know, the tower was the first structure in the world to surpass both the 200-meter and 300-meter mark in height. Due to the addition of a broadcasting aerial at the top of the tower in 1957, it is now taller than the Chrysler Building by 5.2 meters. Excluding transmitters, the Eiffel Tower is the second tallest freestanding structure in France after the Millau Viaduct. For easy movement of tourists, the tower is designed to have 3 levels for visitors, with restaurants on the first and second levels. The top level's upper platform is 276 meters above the ground, the highest observation deck accessible to the public in the European Union. Tickets can be purchased to ascend the stairs and lift to the first and second levels. The stairs from ground level to the first level are over 300 steps, as are the stairs from the first level to the second, making an entire ascent a 600-step stair. We're halfway through, guys, and there are more details to come, so stick around. If you're enjoying the video, kindly hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you've yet to do so. During the French government meeting with the country's engineers, and amidst the heavy criticisms, it had been established that the licensing rights linked to the convention for the tower's construction would only last 20 years, followed by imminent destruction. However, over 2 million people visited the tower during the Universal Exposition, which was unexpected by the French government. Due to the incredible feat, the Eiffel Tower unexpectedly became a symbol of French industrial power. Not only was the tower successful during the 1889 Universal Exposition, but it was also successful during the 1900 Universal Exposition. All of these weren't enough to save the Iron Lady, as her fate had been sealed and signed. Determined to avoid the tower's destruction, Gustave Eiffel went to great lengths to prove its scientific utility. Different scientific experiments were conducted in the fields of astronomy and physiology. But what would really save the tower in the end was its use as a radio antenna tower, first for military communications, and then for permanent radiotelegraphy communications. In fact, the tower served many purposes during World War I. Maybe without the Eiffel Tower, the World War I outcome for France might have been an entirely different story. No doubt, the Eiffel Tower is part of French history. Now that we know a bit about the history of the Eiffel Tower, let's get to know some secrets about the Iron Lady. The first shocking secret is that the tower has to be about its designer. Gustave Eiffel earned the naming rights for the tower, but it was actually two engineers who worked for the company, Maurice Coquelin and Émile Nouguier, who worked on the tower's original design. Also, unknown to many tourists, there's a secret apartment at the top of the tower. When designing the tower, Gustave Eiffel and his employees cleverly included a private apartment where he hosted famous guests like Thomas Edison. It has since been transformed into a recreation of Eiffel's office, complete with wax figures of himself, his daughter, and Edison, and it's open to the public for tourists. Another shocking truth about the Iron Lady is that the Eiffel Tower, which served the French during World War I, would have been demolished during World War II as ordered by Hitler. The German warlord gave a clear order to his soldiers when they occupied France to tear down the tower, but the order was never followed through with. French resistance fighters got their revenge though. They cut the tower's elevator cables, so the Nazis were forced to climb the stairs to hoist their flag. A strange fact about the Eiffel Tower is that the tower was constructed to adjust to different temperatures. Summarily, the Eiffel Tower moves. The Iron Lady is wind-resistant and will sway during a storm. The wind isn't the only thing that can make the enormous tower move. The heat of the sun also affects it, causing the iron to expand, making the tower grow an average of 6 inches during hot months. While the tower serves as a tourist attraction to many, it also doubles as a scientific laboratory for many. The engineer, Gustave, housed a meteorology laboratory on the tower's 3rd floor, where he performed studies in physics and aerodynamics and built a wind tunnel. Eiffel opened the doors of the laboratory for other scientists to use for their experiments as well. Another shocking fact is that the Eiffel Tower's sparkling lights are copyrighted art. Just so you know, lighting first came to the tower in 1985 with the addition of 336 yellow-orange spotlights. But the now famous sparkling light show, consisting of 20,000 bulbs, first lit up the night sky on New Year's Eve 1999 to ring in the new millennium. While the tower is in the public domain, its lighting and sparkles are still protected by copyright under French law. Take a chill pill though. The rule only applies to pictures taken for professional use. You're free to share any personal pictures of the Eiffel Tower and its lights. From being a regular landmark to helping the nation achieve its aims during a heated world war, the Eiffel Tower is indeed historical. Guess you liked the video. We've got more similar content for you. Just make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.